the previous one got screen stuck, and due to which we had to start again. And Jeevan was talking about his 3 month experience, and also he was talking about how autobiography of Yogi and Kali entered his life to give some spiritual insights. Yeah, you can continue with your how Yogananda and Kali entered your life. Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, so back to when I was alone here in Canada for almost 4 to 5 months. So I started reading autobiography of Yogi, and first few chapters were boring, and somehow I was not able to put it down. So I went, and then I just got hooked to it that I was not able to stop reading. So it was like
Mm,
day, evening, any minute gap I get, I used to start like reading the book. So
mm,
I went so fast with it. I did not want to go first, and I did not want the book to end, but I could not control not reading also. So it was that
mm,
kind of experience. So yeah, I raced through, and it was amazing experience. Something changed in me, and I was like it was a very transformative experience. Yeah, that's what I can say. So I after reading that, uh, I slowly started. I tried meditating because meditating was also always tough for me. I've always tried it, and couldn't go beyond 5 minutes or something, right? So I
mm,
started like I was like, okay, let me try meditating, and slowly I was able to go to like 10 minutes, 15 minutes as well.
mm,
And I also enrolled for uh, SRF, actually, their fellowship,
mm,
right? Their organization. So I started receiving lessons, which is
mm,
over a period of 9 months. You get those 18 books in sequence. You're supposed to read it for every 2 weeks and follow that. So those books are like mind blowing, actually. So that is the autobiography of Yogi is in itself a unique
mm.
experience, but these books were at another level, which we really can't explain. And yeah, people are not supposed to share those details in the books also. So if anyone is interested, they can enroll, read it, and they can uh, take in all the knowledge there. Yeah.
So SRF is what is the full form?
A self-realization fellowship in India, it's called YSS, Yoga the
Mm,
Satsang Society.
mm,
So yeah, YSS is affiliated to SRF. SRF is the mother organization, but in North
mm.
America, it's SRF. In India, it's YSS.
Okay, so they give it's like a 9 month program where they give books.
Yeah, every 2 weeks they'll send it to your address.
Mm,
You will get those books, and it's just like small booklets. Like a, I think I might have one here. Let me check. Yeah,
mm,
them here.
mm.
Uh, so these are the booklets. It's just so like some 40 pages each.
Oh,
2 weeks you will get this. They're actually
oh,
great. So they'll
oh,
they'll give you. Yeah,
they
sorry.
teach the Kriya Yoga, no?
This is not Kriya Yoga. This is a precursor to Kriya Yoga. So if you
Mm,
take in these lessons and follow the principles and techniques mentioned here for 6 months continuously,
mm,
then you can apply for the next level, which is the Kriya Yoga initiation, and they start with the Kriya
mm,
Yoga. So, uh, so everything was like rosy after I read this, and yeah, during these meditation sessions is where I started seeing Shiva, Kali sometimes. So I was not sure what they were trying to communicate, but after that, it is like there was no consistency. So
mm,
Kali Ma used to come often
mm,
in at unexpected times and unexpected intervals. She used to.
mm.
So yeah, but later. Yeah, throughout from ever since throughout, there's always been some kind of experience with Kalima, especially.
Oh,
So after that, so many miraculous things, small events, but at the same time, my problems have increased manifold in all aspects ever since this journey started. So, which I struggled initially to put up with, to even grasp or understand the uh,
mm,
like why is this happening, right? Because we don't
mm,
even know why is this thing happening, and trying to do something better and good for yourself, trying to like stop, like even for example, I was a non-vegetarian, so trying to reduce non-vegetarian, and the more I feel like I'm trying to do good things, things were always going out of hand. It still does, but the
mm,
fact is that I'm slowly coming to a realization that all this will happen and they're meant to, and it's kind of part of the process. You just have to accept everything as as you
mm,
would say, right? There's no good and bad. Everything is just an experience. So you just have to accept whatever it is with the same
yeah.
amount of sentimental aspect.
Mm,
So yeah, that happened, and few notable things that I would say, I don't know if I should call them as miracles, but
mm,
they were always kind of. Um, uh, I was mind blown by few of the incidents that happened. Like one such incident was there's Rajshri Nandi, right? Famous tantric
mm,
guru who's also famous on YouTube now. So I used to
mm,
watch a lot, and yeah, YouTube used to always feed all these kind of spiritual stuff only, right? Ever since I
mm,
started this, so uh, when I started seeing one of his videos, I started chanting Bhairav mantra as well, and I got a lot attracted towards him, and I was doing those mantra chanting.
mm,
So there came a time when I think Bhairava, some I forgot the festival or event name. So it was
mm,
an upcoming thing, and we were supposed to, if possible, if there is any Bhairava temple nearby, we are like supposed to go there and
mm,
do all that. This one. So I'm in Toronto here, and from Toronto,
mm,
I'm on the suburbs. That is, I live in a city called Oshawa. It is almost like
mm,
60 kilometer away from the main
mm,
city of Toronto. So in Toronto itself, you will find a lot of temples around the Toronto area, but it's not like you'll have every single, like it's not like India, right? You'll still have limited options. Their main
mm,
deities all have temple like Shiva,
mm,
Ganesha, even Narayan. Everybody have temples, but where do I go and find a Bhairav temple, right? That was my thought process. I'm like, even if I Google, I'm not able to find any temple of Bhairav. But yeah, the second option is to go to a Shiva temple, which is like okay.
mm,
So I was trying to look for Shiva temples, and mine is a suburb. Like it's one of the I wouldn't say remote town, but at the same time, it's not so much with Indian population or anything, right? So I was googling, and I just uh, as I was doing the mantra chant, I was just talking to him, and I was like, "Where do I even go and find your temple? That too in a foreign land where there's no." First of all, finding a temple is so difficult. Even from the place I live, I have to go minimum of 30-40 kilometers to go to a temple. So
mm,
how do I even find your temple? Even if I'm ready to go 30-40 kilometers, I wouldn't find your temple, right? That was what I was thinking. Like, if only there was some temple nearby. And next day, when morning, when I'm just Googling for temples nearby, and I see a Bhairava temple mentioned there on Google Map. And it's just like 5 kilometers away from my home, and it's a new like upcoming city where a lot of new people are like
mm,
starting to move in here. I was literally shocked and surprised. Like when I narrate it now, it doesn't sound like it, but if you think about this
mm,
situation where you're in a foreign land, there's no much temples and stuff, right? Then you will understand like how like miraculous this situation was for me. So I was like, okay, was this temple always there? Because if it was there, at least I would have known, and maybe it was there and I never bothered to look at it, right? And
mm,
to my surprise, it was a new temple that was built just like the previous week it was opened. So it was like
mm,
I could not even believe that out of all the deities, Bhairava temple had to come here in my place where I'm living in my locality.
mm,
And at the especially when the time when I was doing his mantra chanting, and I was just talking to him saying, "Where do I go and
mm,
find your temple?" And it was like him saying, "I am right next to you. Come here. You can't complain now." So,
mm,
yeah, that was one notable incident which I can't forget. And like that, many things happened. I just can't remember all of them at the moment.
mm.
But yeah, like uh,
Oh,
they've always been happening mix of those kind of events and uh, very frustrating moments. It's been a mix always.
oh, yeah, that's interesting. So this happened after you started sadhana or before the sadhana?
You mean
Mm.
the SRF teachings?
Yeah, SRF. Mm,
Yeah, I think I enrolled for SRF right after I finished Autobiography of Yogi. I could not wait. So
mm,
yeah, that uh, was kind of after, I believe. So after I started going through these lessons.
mm-hmm. Okay. After SRF, you started Rajashri Nandi's Batuk Bhairav
I
Sadhana.
mean, it was, yeah, I was just
Uh,
trying out because at a point
mm,
I was not able to continue SRF lessons because I used to wait for those books to come, and I used to just barge right into the book and like finish it
mm,
off in 2 3 days. Uh, Even though you see that this booklet is just like 30 40 pages, they are so deep and intense that you can't grasp the concepts right away. Or it's not like, okay, I read those 40 pages in 2 hours, and it doesn't work that way. When you read it, it's so deep that you need time to digest the points
mm,
mentioned there, and because every statement has some
mm,
deep value there, so it takes a
mm.
lot of time to really read and grasp and
Oh.
digest the points here. So when you kind of do that, right? At a certain point, I don't know, things just flip out, like it becomes inverse, everything seems to go bad. And when I say everything,
Mm,
it's like in all aspects, right? Personal, professional, everything kind of hits you back. And I think
mm,
it's a part of spiritual journey where I've heard
mm,
almost everybody going through it.
mm,
Uh, like I see that happening. So yeah.
mm,
Uh, After that, I had to kind of pause it for a few days because I could not
mm,
continue that. And so, but I still had or tried to maintain some kind of
mm,
spiritual practice, right? So, this one I was not able to continue for a few days. And at one point, I got such severe fever that one of the breathing techniques that we are supposed to do daily, I could not do it for
mm,
almost more than 1 week. I got severe fever and I was alone, and it was like literally impossible. So those kind of impediments keep coming on the way, and they kind of put you off
mm,
track. Uh, when you look back from now, like now when we look back, it all feels like it was all part of the process. And after that, I could have continued organically. But when you're in that time
mm,
and point in the space, it becomes very difficult to actually continue. So your brain is so confused, you're literally clueless what to do. There's nobody telling you what to do. So we try to figure out different things, right? So something that helps at that moment to get out of the rut. So that time when I came across Raj Singh Nandi video, it was not like I stopped this practice and I started that one. It was like kind of going in parallel. So I kind of
mm,
thought, okay, if that mantra chanting helps for a few minutes, let me try. And when it helped, I would be like, okay, I'm feeling relaxed and better, so maybe it'll help me
mm,
connect back. And I tried those for a few days. So things like that. And even stopped SRF thing. I try to read and still I'm not able to. It's so again, I started reading from first, and again it's like very deep, very deep. So it takes a lot
oh,
of time and
mm.
effort. Yeah.
Oh, then out of the three, that is Ujjishta Ganapati, Tripura Bhairavi, and Batuk Bhairav, who was the most in like connect with, like who was closer to your
I would say
personality?
Ganapati
Mm,
because
mm,
even before everything, even before I started my spiritual journey, right? Uh, I've always had a soft corner or special place in my heart for Ganapati. Always, I just love him for. I don't have a specific reason. Like this event happened, so I love Ganapati. It's just I just don't know why. I just love him. When I
mm,
was in India, without missing every year, at least when I went to college, right after those days, when I had a little sense of knowledge of my own to like navigate this world, I always ensure that I go to uh, Ganapati temple once in a year. It
mm.
is Idugunji Ganapati. You might know in the coastal Karnataka, right? So
Yeah.
I love coastal Karnataka, especially Gokarna, Murdeshwar, and Idugunji. So every year it was like kind of a religious ceremony for me, where once in a year I go there, uh, either with friends, family, whoever wants to tag along, right? I'm like, okay, I have to go there. Whether you people come or not, I'm gonna go. So I'll just go there, spend a weekend there, go to
Mm,
Idugunji Ganapati temple, and I love it so much that all my friends know, and even when they go to the temple, they call me from there, and they're like, "See, I'm here in Idugunji." So
mm.
yeah, I just love Idugunji Ganapati. But yeah, after coming here, I've not been able to go, unfortunately. So yeah, so, but
Oh,
and yeah, I
so
would say Ganapati. Yeah.
oh, you're from which state in India?
Karnataka, Bangalore. My ancestry is Tamil Nadu, but I was born and brought up in Bangalore, so Karnataka.
Oh, so which temple you used to go in common every day there?
Every day, no, not really, because as I said in
Mm,
the beginning, right, I was not religious or
mm,
anything. So
mm,
yeah, I've not been. I didn't have such practices where I go to temple every day as such or something. Maybe
mm,
once in a week, sometimes we used to go. but I would
mm.
not. It was not consistent again. It was always like some 2 3 weeks I would go, then I would not go. I never had any deep connection before that.
Mm. Oh, which temple there? 2 3 weeks.
Ganesha only. Ganesha temple.
Oh,
Sometimes
mm,
Shanishwara temple used to be there near my home. Then I used to
mm,
like Shiva also. Shiva's temple also I used to go a lot. So
mm,
in my younger days, I have never had any kind of connection with Krishna or Venkateshwara. I was always Shiva, Ganesha, like that.
mm,
After SRF, I had a very deep connection with Narayan for some time.
mm, mm,
So yeah, that was one. It has been changing for me, but overall, I feel it's all like uh, all same power
mm,
in the end of the day. It's just like in different forms they manifest at given time based on your
mm,
mindset, whom you connect with the most. So that's how I look at it.
mm,
So yeah, like recently I've had a very deep connection with Subramania Swami also from the last 1 year. So yeah,
mm,
I've been having so many different favorite deities and experiences. Yeah.
mm. Oh, so how is Canada like? Like when you first arrived to Canada, did you face any like spiritual upliftment or anything?
No, not really. I
Mm,
did not have any such experience.
mm.
Uh, Nothing notable.
Oh, so it was regarding some job, like
Yeah, yeah. I
you.
was working
Uh,
in India in a IT company.
mm,
So I got an on-site opportunity and I traveled in 2018 to Canada.
mm,
So I'm with the same company still.
oh, and yeah, like I think we can ignore the comments. There are a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of.
I saw them and it's okay.
Mm, yeah. So in Canada, what was the changes you felt like when you first arrived, right, from India? Like you were in certain mindset, and how Canada has changed your mindset.
See, I my life has always kind of revolved around financial issues from my young age. So I
Mm,
was looking at Canada as the doorway to which I can solve my financial issues. So we at points we are naive in our life, right? We focus on things that don't really
mm,
matter. So yeah, my focus was on money, to be honest. So
mm,
I used to think coming here would solve all my problems. And yeah, after coming here, you feel that different kind of financial freedom and everything. But later, yeah, reality sets in, and it's not like money is
mm,
everything, right? So after some
mm,
point, I'm like, it's okay. Money doesn't matter, and yeah, that it all takes time. It's not like we realize in a day or something. So
mm,
maybe the experience of Canada was required to go through this
mm.
journey. Is what I felt, because
Oh.
without this in India it's always like yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that in India it wouldn't. India is like the punya bhumi, so that's where
Mm,
everything happens. But for me personally, I'm
mm,
saying, so for my life in India, I think I was so busy with things, and
mm,
I wouldn't get a free time even for a minute any day. There's always something happening. You're going out,
mm,
you're roaming with friends. There's some family events happening. India has been extremely busy for me. Even now, I like India because uh, you're
mm,
so energetic and lively. You don't get to
mm,
laze around there like we do here. So yeah, yeah. Eventually, I'm going back. Actually, next year I'm probably going back for good to India. And that decision was primarily based on my spiritual journey only, because I wanted to experience more of my
oh.
spiritual aspects. So I thought India is the place where I should be. So yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
But
Yeah,
but
Jai
to begin
Mahakali.
this experience,
Mm.
I think coming here was essential. Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted.
Sorry, yeah, the like Trisha sent super chat. Yeah, Jai Mahakali. Yeah, thank
Jai
you.
Mahakali.
Okay, so yeah, Canada was uh, like a eye opener for you. That
Yeah, I guess so. I could be wrong in my analysis, but that's what I think.
because what I observed was many people, like Indians, right, especially when they come to foreign countries, they realize that they realize the importance of India. They realize what
Yeah.
they what they are missing, uh, and some things which are more important than money, like
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, like the community and like uh, the food and all. Like what about
Yeah.
food? Did you miss
Food.
anything?
Yeah, I always used to miss food, but now, at least from the last 2, 3 years, I'm not so focused on food. Yes, I do enjoy cravings. I do have cravings
Mm,
like everyone sometimes, but not like uh,
mm,
I don't even have food in my mind when I think like, okay, I'm going back to India. Yeah, not even as a last thing in my list, food comes anymore. So I'm
mm,
not so like specific about food now. And I
mm,
also cook, so when I have any cravings, even here, whatever I need, right, in Indian style or whatever, I cook myself. So it's not like I have any longing, like, okay, this thing I can get only in India and have. So that has
mm.
been helpful for me, knowing cooking.
Oh, yeah. So now your family is in India. You're in alone
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. They're in India.
okay. Yeah, like I have seen this case in many of the initiated members also. Like once they are alone in of the foreign country, they start some spiritual practice
Yeah.
uh,
S-
like Shakti Sadhana. So, when compared to Kriya Yoga, I know you have not started Kriya Yoga completely, but what, which path do you feel is more catering to the ultimate state of meditation, that is Nirvikalpa Samadhi, is achievable through which path for you? Like, is it Kriya Yoga or is it Shiva Shakti Sadhana or whatever?
Yeah, for me, I've
Mm,
tried a few more things as well. Like to you,
mm,
we just discussed about three things that I have tried, right? But Bhairava Mantra,
mm.
SRF,
Yeah.
and this one. So uh, personally, for me, my mind still goes towards Kriya Yoga. I don't know. I somewhere feel that's where I can actually
Mm,
progress much further. But
mm,
if you're asking about in general, I wouldn't really say one is above the other. Every individual has their own different unique
mm,
requirements. So definitely, it's not one path fits all. That would never work
mm,
because
mm,
even in our own religious thing, right? There is tantra, there is bhakti marg. All these are created for different kind of people, right? So yeah, I
yeah.
wouldn't put one above the other. Everything is unique and great in its own way. So it depends on individual people's
Mm,
karma and their personal taste and whatever, right? So based on that only, I think they should try different paths, see what works for them. Because on the
mm,
outset, you can't just look at it and decide, okay, this is the path for me. Because until you experience a certain path, you wouldn't even know what really hits you in the right direction. So try out different things and whatever your mind deeply connects with, you will know when the connection happens. So that should be the path people should choose. That's what I would suggest.
oh, okay. So the like in previous live sessions, there were two people like Nomit Negi and Anshuman who told about the hum saw a method
Yeah.
of breathing, and
Mhm.
like we were confused regarding which is inhalation and which is exhalation. Is it hum is for inhalation or exhalation? How is it?
Actually, there it you can
Mm,
follow it both ways, is what I have read. So you
mm,
can right, do it Hamsa or Soham, however you want. Because the mantra is,
mm,
if you might have heard these terms interchangeably, right? Soham or Hamsa mantra also. It is also called as Hamsa mantra. So you can
mm.
like inhale with hum and exhale with so, or inhale with so and exhale with hum. It's about whatever works for you, whatever you feel
Oh,
comfortable. Like for
it,
me, I feel comfortable with Hamsa.
mm,
So I prefer that. So I don't know. It's just like uncomfortable when I do Soham. So I do the Hamsa
mm.
method. So there are some
Oh,
articles, like there's a famous astrologer in India, but she doesn't do astrology anymore. She's done
mm,
with that, but long back. But
mm,
she has written a lot of articles around these stuff, and they're very interesting. So one of her articles also spoke about this. Even I was initially confused because I was not even able to make out what is right there. So uh, her article and also few more information sources really helped me. So maybe if that helps, you can put it in your video also. The link to that blog, I can share that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Is it Hamsa or is it Hamso?
Actually, it is so SAU.
SAU. So.
Yeah. So
So, like, can we? How many minutes it should be done to experience some changes?
uh, uh, like daily half an hour is the suggested uh,
Hmm.
length of that practice. But
Hmm.
what happens is initially, to start with, people probably newcomers should start with like 5-10 minutes because you don't know how to control it, because sometimes you pull in a lot deep, right? After 5-10 times of that, you start feeling a shortness of breath. So
Hmm.
you learn to regulate that when you start doing slowly. It's like your own
Hmm.
uh, uh, capacity of your lungs, right? As you keep doing, your
Hmm.
lung capacity increases. I have observed that myself. So initially, when I started, I used to struggle the same way. And if you do it wrongly for a long time, it's gonna affect your lungs. So
Hmm.
you have to do it very carefully. That's why it's suggested that you start with 5-10 minutes of it initially.
Okay. Yeah. So, can we like practice it for 1 minute just to
Yeah.
show our audience?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, first inhalation should be inside the mind, right? Hum.
Yeah.
And
So,
while
so
exhalation, saw inside the mind only.
yeah. So generally, when we breathe, right, we tend to fill in like, and our lungs go up like this, right? You're not supposed to do that. You are supposed to expand your stomach, your diaphragm. So your lungs should not go up. Like rather than doing this, you should be like, your stomach should be pushed outwards. So that's how
Hmm.
you should do that.
Hmm.
These people never stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so
Yeah.
you should you should push your diaphragm outside, not your lungs. So that's very, very
Hmm.
important. So once you do that,
Hmm.
you should imagine that you're pulling in the energy of the universe. Like there's energy all around us. You should
Hmm.
imagine a white light going in your spine until the base of your
Hmm.
spine, and when you're exhaling, you imagine that it is pulling in all the dirt from your body, and grayish black light is going out. Basically, you're purifying your chakras and your energy, whatever, right?
Hmm.
So that's how you visualize it. So as you
Okay.
exhale, you push back your stomach in. So that's how we
Okay.
can do it.
Yeah. So while inhaling, hum with thinking that you're taking in some white energy, and while exhaling, you're leaving some black or
Yeah, yeah.
gray
Also,
energy.
also imagine the energy traveling through your spine to the
Huh.
tip of your spine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. While inhaling, right?
Yes. Yes.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, we can start it. So one
Yeah.
minute we will start breathing like that. Yeah. Three, two, one, go. Yeah. So what I like felt was like I was able to feel my heartbeat. That my heartbeat dub 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 dub. Like when I was doing hum, like I could feel that full vibration of my heart. So
Yeah.
what was your experience like?
So I kind of feel tingling sensation in my entire spinal cord. So that
Mm,
happens when I'm like focusing a lot. But yeah, when I don't focus, nothing happens sometimes. But yeah, most of it,
mm,
that's how it happens. And a few more things, like once you're a little familiar with these steps, right? A few more things are to focus your eyes on your forehead, which is like that is one more thing. And
mm,
yeah, as with all practices, you don't let your body touch the ground. So you need to have some mat or something. Uh,
mm.
yeah, that's
There's a manifestation called Hamsakali, where breath itself becomes Kali. So do
yeah.
you know about this method?
I've heard about it, but I don't know any further details on it.
Oh. Like that's the secret of all chanting actually, all the mantra
Mm,
sadhana. No? Mantra sadhana, what happens is the breath itself becomes the mantra. Like whatever I
yeah.
initiated, that
Mm,
mantra replaces the uh,
mm,
consciousness. That all the we'll forget everything, English, Konkani, Malayalam, everything will forget, and that mantra itself becomes our consciousness. Once that happens, right, it's as if there's no Aditya, there's no Jeevan. That character
mm,
disappears. Only the
mm,
mantra exists. So I think when we reach that state now of samadhi, we are going to those worlds where those worlds are made up of the mantras,
mm,
like
mm.
all the deity mantras, and we are
Yeah.
going to such worlds, the divine ones.
Mm,
Yeah. Okay. Uh, Nomit Negi is telling he will tell
yeah.
about Hamsa itself. Uh, And what else have you uh, learned from Kriya Yoga other than Hamsa?
Others, unfortunately, they kind of have that this one, right, where you're not supposed to tell. You need to pledge
Ah,
in the initial time. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't share, but they're very
mm,
cost effective. I think yeah, anybody
mm,
interested can actually try it. It's good. Yeah,
mm,
but before that, yeah, for the fully new people, they can read Autobiography of Yogi. Uh,
mm,
Again, because even with that book, I've seen many people don't really feel any connect or they feel nothing after reading the book. So if you're able to connect with the book, for those who have
mm,
not read, and if you really feel a deep connection, then you can go as a next step, enroll for this. And after reading these lessons, if you still further feel a much better connection, then yeah, you can enroll for Kriya Yoga. Like I have not enrolled yet. I'm still uh,
mm,
going through these only, but it's been on and off, very inconsistent. I've been very inconsistent with my spiritual practices, especially this year. Things have not been going great, but I am sure I'll get back to it, and I'm trying to
mm,
focus back. Yeah.
mm. Yeah, true. And I connected the most with the chapter 43 of the
Mhm.
resurrection of Yukteswar
Oh
Giri.
yeah, that's like I think that's the chapter. That's my favorite chapter as well because
Mm,
after like reading through so many like it's like a roller coaster ride, right, reading the book, but
mm,
that chapter hits at another level where I'm like wow.
mm,
I was like, oh wow, that's really really great.
mm.
So yeah, I love that chapter. I have actually reread that chapter multiple times, just that chapter. I love it
Yeah.
so much.
Like the all the other chapters I have left. Once I started
Yeah.
hearing chapter 43, I didn't
Yes,
want to hear other chapters only.
I
It
know.
was like
I know.
a spoiler for like I felt like why did I even waste my time in other chapters? I could have come
No,
directly
it's
to
like a build-up, right? Not everyone would be on the same level. So yeah, I think it
yeah,
does. Or in the general sense, I think everyone needs to read those chapters to even understand the wow of that 43rd chapter.
true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that all that is experience with the tiger, that
yeah,
tiger
yeah.
Baba, and who is that? The one who didn't eat
Mm,
that
mm,
some lady. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
he met so many saints, right? Including
right.
Gandhiji, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
so
nice word, unfortunately.
so yeah, he went through so many saints, and yeah, I think we need to go through that his experiences so that
Yeah,
finally we'll understand.
yeah,
And Yukteswar Giri, he came back, no, like he came back to after
mm,
even after leaving the physical body, he came in his energy body, that astral
right.
body, to see Yogananda, and it was like a evidence that there is life even after our death. Like
Yeah,
we are often scared, no, that when we
yeah,
age we will die, but that is not the truth. Even after we age and die, our sukshma sharira, our astral body,
astral
still
body. Yeah,
exists. So it contains our emotion and intellect, that is the manomaya and vijnanamaya kosha. You Now then, after that, it is our decision whether to retain ourselves in on earth or go beyond this earth. So to go beyond the earth, we have to at least know how to achieve that thoughtless state of samadhi,
yeah.
through shakti sadhana or through kriya yoga. But what I observed was, through Kriya Yoga, if you do know, there must be a physical guru or someone near you who can guide you handheld. That is,
Mm,
you can't leave the guru alone. Like how Yogananda held the hand of Yukteswar
mm,
Giri.
mm.
Even after he left, he was like tightly holding him.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that is the level of guru shishya relation that must be there when you are following the path of Kriya Yoga. Whereas in the case of Shakti Sadhana, right, uh, the divine entities only will take care of you, because the guru need not be physically present only. Like all the
Mm,
divine entities like Kali, Krishna, uh, Bhuvaneshwari, they will
mm,
be the ones who will take care of you after your death. Like how Yukteswar Giri took Yogananda to the Hiranyaloka after his death. Similarly, uh, the Kali Krishna will take care of you after your death. So it's a path of independence. I feel the Shiva Shakti
mm.
sadhana, right? I feel
Yeah,
like it is
yeah.
the path of independence of any humans. It's like a very lonely path, and it feels
Mm,
very magical sometimes. Yeah.
mm. Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, the one question is that for you, could you ask the guest about Lahiri Mahasaya's method? So, what did you observe the difference between Yogananda's method and Lahiri Mahasaya's method?
I think it's all pretty much the same knowledge because they're all in the same lineage. But
Mm,
as even another person has commented, right? Lahiri Mas
mm,
has a lot of work in Bengali actually. So I heard that any Indian text, right? Like even the tantric text and also any Vedic text, there are local languages. Like mostly it's all in Sanskrit, but you also have
mm,
something called Shabar mantras. I don't know if you know about them. So they are all in the local languages, right? So the effect and knowledge you get is pure only when you read it in that deep, like that local language, because you can get English converted versions, but they don't really convey the same meaning. So from
mm,
Lahiri Mahasaya's work, I think his actual works, we really can't know the in-depth details. Maybe Bengalis could be lucky, and if they get to read it and first of all understand it, that's a different thing. But in general, his teachings is what he passed on to his Guru Yukteswar Giri, sorry, his Shishya Yukteswar Giri, right? And he passed it on to Yogananda. So basically, whatever Yogananda has been teaching is the same as Yukteswar Giri's teaching and Lahiri Mahasayas and Babaji Mahatas. Basically, it's the same knowledge, different ways of passing it on. That's it.
hmm.
So if
Yeah.
you basically read Yogananda's, I feel the entire lineage knowledge is at your hands.
Mhm. Yeah, like he was the student of all,
Yeah,
Lahiri Mahasaya, and uh, who is that?
Yukteswar Giri,
Yeah, and the top G. Uh,
Babaji Mahatar. Yeah,
Mahavatar Babaji. Yeah. So, what is the lineage? First is Mahavatar Babaji, then it's
yeah,
Lahiri Mahasai,
right.
then it's
And then
Yukteswar, then
Yukteswar Giri.
Yogananda.
Yes.
Four
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it's more people. Like Babaji has a lot more other
Mm,
shishyas in or this lineage we know because Paramahamsa Yogananda wrote the book and it's famous and we know everything, right?
mm,
Like if you look at Sri M, right? You know Sri M, right? So
mm,
his guru is the sorry, I forgot his name. Um, his guru is like, and he also actually in the end, his knowledge was also from Babaji Mahavatar. So there are actually so many people who have got
mm,
the knowledge from Babaji Mahavatar. Just that some people are famous, and maybe that's how they intended it. There are so many
mm,
other different people whom we don't even know, or they're not in the mainstream uh,
mm.
social media or internet. But there are a lot of people whom this information is passed on.
Yeah,
Even in
true.
South India, I've seen there's there are multiple schools of thought who all claim to have their knowledge from Babaji Mahavatar, and they
Mm,
teach their knowledge there.
true. Yeah. Like it's beautiful that the way the spiritual community is built, like how
Yeah,
Mahavatar, one lineage of Mahavatar Babaji, one of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa,
yeah,
then another of Sadguru, and
yeah. Like
like
even when
yeah.
you look at the connections, right, it's all mind blowing because Babaji Mahavatar is believed to be born in Tamil Nadu at a village, and he was he got lost in one festive event or something, and he was taken away by people. Like he was in Bengal, he was used as some kind of house, like for household work. They used to always observe that he has something deep in him, and they asked, "What do you want?" Like I'm making it very short, right? So he said, "I want to just go out. I want freedom," and they just granted him that. Somehow he got in contact with some gurus and everybody in the Himalayan side, and they sent him to Sri Lanka, Kadirgamam. There's a temple for Lord Subramanya Swami in Kadirgamam even today. There's no statue or anything. There's just a screen, and behind it, there's some yantra, it seems, and nobody knows where the
Mm,
statue went. So there he went there, and he got his knowledge from. He was a Tamil saint. He's very famous. Sorry, I forgot his name again. So his lineage, if you see, that lineage
mm,
goes back to Lord Subramanya Swami only. So Lord Subramanya
mm,
Swami granted that knowledge in Palani temple of Tamil Nadu. They get those knowledge and they give that knowledge to they
mm,
initiate Babaji Mahavatar, and Babaji Mahavatar is believed to be an avatar of Subramanya Swami again. I was
mm.
like, what is even like where is the connection here? Like so this it's all so interlinked. So it's really mind blowing when you start going through all of this.
So ultimately, it is the play of the deities themselves.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's like this. I observed like in the 1990s, especially. Spirituality or religiousness in India was at its lowest point. As slowly prosperity started coming in, and suddenly there's been this upward tick from the last 4 5 years. Suddenly everything is up. All youngsters are also on this path, and it's very good to see that this is happening.
Thanks to beer biceps.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, he also played a big role. Yes.
big role. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Then and also there is a organization called New York Vedanta Society of New York, no, where
Hmm.
Sarvapriyananda teaches about Advaita. So
Hmm.
that belongs to Ramakrishna Mission, I guess.
Okay.
It's a tributary of Ramakrishna, maybe, because Vivekananda established the Vedanta Society, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, uh, interesting. So I don't know the future of like it's growing, like all the spiritual organizations, and
Yeah. I'm
it's
I'm
beautiful.
sure there will be a saturation point, and it's like a sinusoidal wave. It'll Things will keep going up and down, but it's happy to know that it'll never die at least because at some point I thought
Mm,
all this is gonna go away, but I don't think
mm,
so. With internet, I feel as much as the people are against it, the far group is growing equally. So yeah. It's not
Yeah,
like
and
we
mm,
have a war or something here, but at least it's just for the wellness of everybody, right? Yeah.
no, but also right, there is a, what to say, a fear about Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and that
Mm,
fear has to be removed somehow from the society itself, because the society thinks death is the final game, but death is
mm,
not the final game. Death is just an exam for the next game, and
mm.
for that, Nirvikalpa Samadhi is like the most important tool or skill to go to the next exam or next planet, and due to which I feel like there must be a very high revolutionary uh, person who can change the mindset of people, telling that Nirvikalpa Samadhi is a necessity rather than um, like it must not be it must be made compulsory to everyone to learn Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Otherwise, it's like you're coming back here only, right? Like reincarnating. And I mean, like at least we have to learn it. Then we can use it whenever we age, like in the age of 50 or 60. Like we can use that skill, whatever we learned, and we can use it to transcend. Otherwise, we are dying through pain, and I don't want any human to suffer death through the channel of pain. Instead, they have to learn how to samadhi, how to transcend, then use it for uh, uh, facing death gracefully rather than through pain. And
I
yeah,
think this was how it was before. It's just that ever since the Industrial Revolution started in the Western side, the Western
mm,
obsession of seeing a proof with the five senses got hold.
mm,
That idea took hold of humans because uh, even it happens with us also, right? You just start focusing on some material aspects. You're just engrossed in it, and you tend to see everything from only those five sensual perspectives of hearing, seeing, feeling, things like that, right? So it's difficult for people to get out of that because it's inbuilt or like it's drilled into our mind from young age that everything requires proof. Everything around you requires proof, right?
yeah,
Everything is a scientific experiment, and yeah, I mean it is required to some extent. It's just that Western side, the materialistic views are at its peak, and Eastern side. Sometimes things go out of hand in the spiritual aspect also. There's too many fake gurus who then propagate false things and commit so many atrocities, so that kind of puts people off and they start losing hope in the path. So
mm,
I think that balance is very difficult. As you said, uh, you can teach all you want, but not everybody is going to accept it, right? Like without even experiencing, people are ready to comment that all this is fake, all this is false, and in the name of religion. So there's no religion actually. You follow any religion, you follow anything, and you just try to connect with uh, in any form you prefer, right? It's not like this is the only form, this is the only path that you have to follow. End of day, uh, like I heard recently in Beer Biceps only, he brought in a guest from Karnataka who was a tantric teacher. Her name was Sakalama, like that's her ashram name. So she made a beautiful point where she said he asked about how many gods are there or how many different gods are there. How can I, like she was talking about this coastal Karnataka side, right, where you have local deities whom you can connect with. So does that mean they are not the real gods? Only Shiva, Parvati, Vishnu are real gods? No, that is not how it is, because these are all the local manifestations for people to connect with in the form they know, right? So they would at least visualize a stone, a small stone next to their home as a god, and that will become god. So like that, there can be as many gods and as many number of paths as the number of humans on this world. So if there are like 8 billion people, there are 8 billion paths and 8 billion gods, because each one's path is unique. So
mm.
whichever form you connect with, just try to become better and connect with your higher self. That's all matters end of day. It's not like you follow this path, you follow this religion, only then you get this thing. That's the stupidity of modern human life, unfortunately.
Yeah, like everything has come from the same singularity point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you see in that Sri Yantra, no, there's a dot in
Yeah,
the middle,
yeah,
and that dot is not restricted to any religion. It is that dot is for everyone. We have all come from that same dot,
yeah, yeah,
and
true.
yeah, so
I think there's a question about can Kriya
mm,
Yoga act as a catalyst for Shakti Sadhana? There, I my take would be that they are separate. Uh, if it helps you,
mm,
and you can try
true.
it out.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can combine and try whether it will be helpful or not. Mm,
yeah. So, yeah, at least my take on all this has always been with my experiences so far. There's no one specific path that you need to follow. Everybody free to follow what they
mm,
deeply connect with.
true, true. Yeah, finally connect. The aim is to connect with the higher self and reach
Yeah,
samadhi. So all the
correct.
path is same. Like even Christianity,
Yeah,
connect with Jesus and uh,
yeah.
achieve samadhi. Connect with Allah and achieve samadhi. And in Hinduism, connect with Krishna, Kali and achieve samadhi. And Kriya Yoga, I guess there is no. I think Guru only is the higher self. No, connect with your Guru and achieve
No,
samadhi.
not really. It's just like your
Mm.
own inner self is your higher self.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I
So,
think
yeah.
like uh the way our religion, or I think it's not even religion, it's like what to say, way of life, right? Our Sanatana Dharma is called a way of life, and we have
Mm.
30,000 gods or 3 million gods or whatever. You can keep on counting, and you'll have millions of gods here. So there's always a question from Western perspective as to how can there be these many gods? Does it even make sense and stuff? It's like again, our thought and perceptions of Sanatana Dharma are so unique and different that it's difficult for them to even understand and grasp the concept. I feel overall, evolution of religion also is a natural thing that happened. On the Western side, people wanted this kind of single figurehead to unite them actually, because there was so much disarray in them, and they needed something like this to unite and focus on some higher self. Indians never needed it, at least subcontinent never needed it. The people there knew how to connect with nature already, and that's why we have so many forms and everything is accepted. Nobody claims like, okay, this is great, that is great. Like you can see people from South India going to Himalayas and saying, "We see Shiva here also." People from Himalaya come down to Tiruvannamalai to say, the "Shiva is great here also, and Vishnu is great, Ganesha is great." We know that it's not like this person is great, this god is great. Yeah, we have people even in Sanatana Dharma claiming such things, but maybe at some point they'll also come to a realization. It's all uh,
Hmm.
in the
But
larger game.
yeah, but what I observed is in Sanatana Dharma, no, however, how much ever God you make, all the gods are like I'm not talking about gods. All the deities are
Mhm.
the derivatives of the same nine deities. That is,
Yeah,
if you see right in the nine deity list, there is Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, and their
yeah,
spouses, and
yeah,
Ganapati, Subramanya, and Hanuman. So all the other deities, no, in Hinduism are like the derivatives of the same nine figures. And I
true,
think
true.
Hinduism can be what to say compressed into those nine forms
Yeah.
because yeah, I don't see the point of like being confused with so many millions of gods because it's already there and like yeah, the nine deities are there and yeah.
I think at least the previous generations of Indians were not considered. This modern era, of course, allows you to ask a lot of questions and you have a lot of things going on. So it's always, uh, yeah, there are a lot of questions from the younger generation also, right? Oh, how can you, if you ask it from an inquisitive point of like in from an inquisitive angle, yes, that's a good start. Question it, it's fine to you have to question, just don't blindly accept everything.
Hmm.
Question it, try to learn why this is so, and if you get a convincing answer, well, if not, try to learn more. But questioning just for the sake of questioning and trying to put things down here, that is stupidity. Like I wouldn't uh, agree with that path. So to your point, what I was trying to say is I think we don't need to compress, nor do we. not have to compress. If compressing helps, yes, to that crowd we can compress and give, like they can look at it that way. But I feel for thousands of years this way has worked and it has sustained. All the major religions like Zoroastrianism, in Egyptian they worship the sun god. The Indians from North America, the indigenous Indians from North America, they are all lost. And those are the things we know. Without knowing, we don't even know before that how many more different paths existed, and it's all been wiped out. This is the only form that has been existing from uh, thousands of years, maybe 2000 years as per the uh, Western propaganda, but we know it is much older than that.
Yeah, and the thing is, what I observed was in Kriya Yoga, that Yogananda's path, they have gone to that Hiranya Loka, right? So that
Mhm.
Hiranya Loka is not the ultimate one, but
Yeah,
there are planets which are beyond the Hiranya Loka. Like in our
right.
all our stotras and shlokas, while doing
Mhm.
Sandhya Vandan also, right? Like pranayama and all, we tell that Bhur Bhuva Swaha Mahajana Tapa
Right. Mm,
Satyaloka.
mm,
So we tell in our mantras and all. So what that
yeah.
means is that Hiranyaloka is somewhere in the uh, Bhuva or Bhuva Loka,
Mm.
all the enlightened beings. Then in the Maharloka, uh, uh, there are like astral beings, and
Rishis and
Janaloka
astral beings. Yeah.
and Janaloka, there are like the deities, and
Mm,
Tapoloka, there are like the Saptarishis.
mm.
So I guess whoever achieved Samadhi, right, they have not yet crossed that
Correct.
Bhuva and Hiranyaloka.
Yes.
Uh, so when they cross it, only they will get the realm of the deities, and I guess only then we will understand who the deities really are. Until then we can just go to that Hiranyaloka and astral planets, astral beings. We can't know what the realm of the deity is like, and it may be too powerful to grasp also, the amount of power they have.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like we see them in the reduced form on earth. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like in autobiography yogi only. Again, there's so much information there, right? I forgot who the rishi is, but sorry, who the saint was who told Yogananda. Like, they say, "Oh, you have been meditating for 30 years. That's amazing. Like, we can, like, if you compress the number of hours we have meditated so far, it wouldn't even be a year, I guess, or maybe for some people it would be. But overall, even 5 years seems like a very big number, right? So that saint has been meditating for 30 plus years non-stop. Not like he has been like on and off. He's like day and night, he just meditates for 30 years. So they go and say, "Oh, wow, you have been meditating for 30 years. You should know God, about everything about God, and you should be with God, I guess, right? How great that might be." And he just says how foolish it is to think that uh, the God who controls this universe, multiverse, millions of multiverse, you are in a very tiny, like it's not even a grain of sand. The earth is not even a grain of sand if you consider the multiversal scale, right? It's maybe a grain of sand within a grain of sand within maybe a 10x
Mm,
go in depth. That's the
mm,
size of earth in physical, at a physical level. So to know that a person living in this minute piece of dirt, just
mm,
by meditating for 30 human years to know everything about God, that is like I'm not, yeah, I'm losing words, but it was like
mm,
to think that one can know the all-encompassing God with just 30 years of meditation, that's heights of foolishness. Don't even say that. Even if you meditate for hundreds of lifetimes, you can hardly know uh, maybe about a strand of hair about him. That's it. You can know. It's like
mm.
it's beyond human comprehension.
But I don't see in that way, because as a
Mm,
granule of salt or sand or something,
mm,
because there's a misconception that God is separate, and
mm.
in I feel that Advaita has more truth in it. That is telling that we ourselves are the gods. That is, whenever
True.
we open our eyes, we create the reality. Whenever we
Yeah.
close the eyes, we destroy the reality. So what it means is we create this dream-like structure inside our mind, due to which the external world appears to be external. But the truth is, the whole external world is inside us. So
Yeah.
the whole
Mm,
universe is watching itself through the eyes of humans. so that
Yeah.
it can play its own game. It's like the creator himself is watching through our eyes. And
Yeah.
I don't think the creator is separate from us. We ourselves are the creators who create this universe every day whenever we wake up. So
Agree.
whenever we stop dreaming, we go out of this dream. And and that is what I realized. And that is what people realize also, that when they meditate for like 1 year, 2 year, 10 years, 30 years, no matter how much they meditate, only their power increases. So
Yeah.
the realization remains the same, that is aham brahmasmi. So the realization is same even if you meditate for 1 year or 100 years, but only the power changes. The uh, amount of Brahma, that is, Brahma means the creator inside him, no? The creator element, the amount of manifestation power he has, that changes the based on the amount of meditation you do. The more you meditate, the more Brahma you become. The less you
Yeah.
meditate, less Brahma you become. So if you don't meditate, you become a part of the creation. Whereas you, if you meditate more, you become a part of the creator. So that is what I realized through uh, meditation.
I think I think there's no contradiction actually in both. It's the same because how I
Mm,
see it is, let's consider us, right. Like we have billions of cells in our body, and each cell has its own specific work to do, right? That cell has a mitochondria and nuclei, and it thinks it's leading a life, interacting with other cells, doing its own work. It is a part of our body, but it has its own life. It has its own life and death cycle. Cells are
mm,
born and die. So it's like the same thing, right? Uh, yeah, because universe also is like that, and we think we are individuals and we meditate and we get to know the reality. But the truth is, of course, as you said, we are all same and connected. It's same like ourselves. It's just the realization, I think, that will help to know that okay, we are actually one and same with it.
mm. But another thing is, if that cell, no, that red blood
Mhm.
cell or something, if it starts meditating or starts
Yeah,
introspecting on
that.
itself, like who am I? So what
Yeah.
happens is, it starts to become the bigger thing. Like a red blood cell gets
Mhm.
converted to a T cell or a white
Right.
blood cell, or it
Yeah.
becomes like a neuron. Like it reaches
Right.
to a point of becoming a neuron, the strongest cell in a human body, and finally after crossing the neuron stage, no, like the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu stage, it becomes the creator itself, that is the body itself. And that is the highest level of introspection a cell can go into. Similarly, the level of introspection a human can go into. And that is evolution. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason I'm laughing is because this same knowledge is what these are one of the knowledges given in the SRF things. It's just that I'm not allowed to share it. You can share because you got the knowledge differently and I got it differently. That's it. So actually, that's also mentioned when I spoke about the Hamsa breathing technique, imagining a white light moving in, right? It has a deeper connection. It's just not a uh, like hocus pocus thing where you just imagine and it happens. The deeper connection is that the energy is real. Many people would know, but even from a scientific standpoint, if you want to think about it, there's an explanation for that as well. So whatever you explained, kind of, it's pretty much the same, just with little more details available there. So yeah, that's where I was like, I was like, oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, Rajat asked, can you please talk about Sri Yantra? So have you seen Sri Yantra anytime?
Yeah, yeah, I have. So
Yeah,
I
in
actually have a
mm,
very sorry, yeah, I have a very small blog. I've written few articles last year, and after that, yeah, things have been a little rough, so I've not been able to. I plan to restart. Actually, the logo I have of my website, like when you open the browser tab on the top, you would see a small Sri Yantra. People wouldn't know it's a Sri Yantra, but yeah, it because it's very small, it's not
uh,
so easily visible. But yeah, I have it, and I've read a lot about it. Yes, sorry, go ahead.
mm. Yeah, like it is a beautiful geometry. I feel like it is the portal to the dimension of the deities, like the Janaloka,
Mhm.
Tapaloka, Satyaloka, and finally that singularity. No, so it is like a portal towards those. Bhurbhuva Swahama Jana Tapasat. So, like there are nine triangles, no? If you see, no,
Mm,
there are three
mm,
what to say, like a upright triangle, three. Then there are three
yeah.
reverse triangles, and inside those
Mm,
three, what to say, forward and reverse triangles, there are again three triangles, and inside that there is a dot. So I feel like what these represent is represent the dimensions of uh, the existence, that is the physical
mm,
realm, astral
mm,
realm, causal realm, and the realms which the Saptarishis are there in, that is the Tapaloka, Satyaloka, and yeah, Vaikuntha Loka and all. So it has a very deep meaning, and I think if you every time when we meditate, no, if we keep a photo of Sri Yantra, like for example, wait a minute. So if we keep a like a photo of Sri Yantra like this,
mm,
on in front of us, and if you start meditating by offering the deity something like a jaggery or sweet or something, then that time I guess it will have a more scope to meditate, instead of meditating blindly without
mm.
anything. If we have Sri Yantra in front of us, I think our concentration will be maxed out into 10x instead of 1x, and I
Yeah.
think everyone has to try that, because it is a portal towards the other realms. And like how if you see in movies and all, there are wormholes, right? Wormholes to go to other time, other places. Similarly, this is like a wormhole. So if you observe, it's a wormhole. So
Yeah.
if you see like this, if you see this way, there are these different dimensions. See, if you see in this way, you see different dimensions. So that's why it's better you keep Sri Yantra every time, like for chanting any mantra, because everyone are there inside this. Lakshmi, Saraswati,
Yeah.
Vishnu,
It's
Kali, everyone are there. Just keep it and chant whatever mantra you want, and that deity will pop out. If your love is strong enough, that deity will pop out and come to you. So I have tried this also. That is,
mm,
whenever I do Lalita Sahasranama, I just keep it, and it feels as if she came out and she's watching me, like chant Lalita. Like if that happens, we don't need anything. Like see, finally, what happens when we uh, ask for money? When we ask for money, we get money from the other realms. Let's say, like it starts manifesting in our causal, astral, and physical body. Then what
mm.
happens? We feel happiness. But if we ask directly, give me happiness itself. Why? So money gives us
Yeah.
happiness. Instead of that, if you ask
Yeah.
directly, give me happiness, it's like
Mm,
you're doing shortcut to yourself. And again, another thing, after happiness, what we get? After happiness, we get samadhi, that is thoughtless state of existence. So instead of asking for happiness also, direct ask for samadhi only. then then they will pull you to the other world, like through the Sri Yantra only. Like all the
yeah.
deities will pull you inside the Sri Yantra. Like it'll pull you, and you will go inside the Sri Yantra, and your existence will not be there. So that is like a shortcut to asking anything to the deities. If you ask for small things, they will give you, but at what
Yeah.
cost? You will still be here only.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's interesting.
I think there's a question about drawing yantra on a piece of paper. I would recommend not because it's a very complex geometric pattern. Any small mistake might really not be good. So better take a something available on internet, get a print and keep it is what I would say.
Or just keep a mobile in
Yeah,
front of,
mobile will, right?
like
Yeah.
this. You keep.
Right, right. Yeah.
See how I keep is, I download it from internet.
Mm,
Then yeah, then like the black screen, no, like black screen I keep,
mm, mm.
like this I keep. So and like switch off all the lights in your home. Make your room completely dark and keep this mobile in front of you, and you can chant whichever mantra you like, your most favorite mantra, and that deity will come in front of you if your love is strong enough. Yeah. So, Jeevan, do you have anything to say to the audience?
Yeah, one thing I would say is uh, follow whatever path you want, try different things, but definitely have some kind of a spiritual practice. Um, yeah, skeptics can always question what is the use, what is the point. I'm happy with my material life. Yeah, if you're happy with your material life, yeah, don't even bother. Maybe it's not your time yet, but ultimately, everyone will have to come or go through some form of spiritual journey for sure. That is definitely there. Uh, yeah, again, everyone is free to reject the thought, but yeah, it is inevitable. So everyone will
Mm,
have to go through it. But yeah, there's no one single right path or one size fits all. So try out different things, see what makes you comfortable, but definitely have something. Don't lose the uh, gift of human life, because they say to be born as a human, you go through millions of years of multiple births as different species, and human birth is kind of granted as a gift after you have come through those stages. And
mm,
even in human birth, we again take so many births to come to a certain realization of, or even a little realization about spiritual path and move on to the next one. So yeah, definitely don't waste your life, enjoy life, but at the same time have some kind of connect with the higher self.
yeah, true. Guru bro, what is your our sampradaya? Yeah, our sampradaya is Shiva Shakti sadhana. So it's similar to Rudrayamala Tantra, but it is like Rudrayamala Tantra with Mahavidyas and its own Shiva Tattvas. It's a unique path which has not yet been what to say tailor written or something. It's already there in the Rudrayamala Tantra about the Mahavidyas, how they are related to the each chakras. But what I have done is I have added the Shiva Tattvas also, so that they can be our respective gurus for the respective chakras and can guide us towards the path of um, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So this is so I would call this path as Shiva Shakti sadhana, and you can. Like before transcending, I will just write a book regarding how so that people will not be confused and uh, I don't know,
Yeah,
Aditya
I
Yamala Tantra.
maybe
Kali Yamala Tantra.
once
Mm.
I start restart my blog, I'll invite you as guest writer to write some blogs sometime.
Huh. I don't know what to name the book as. Yeah, Aditya Yamala Tantra or Kali Yamala Tantra.
I think you can take your time on that to find a perfect name.
Hmm.
So
Okay then.
I wanted to
Mhm.
check, like, what is your take on Tantra and
Hmm.
Agora Path?
Yeah, it is a path of like isolation. That is
Mm,
where people isolate themselves and find their own path, like how you said, no, billions of uh, people are there and they have found their own path. So agoras, what they do is they separate themselves from the society, and after
mm,
separating they themselves find either through a guru or they themselves find a path of by connecting with the deity. So the deities, no, they will tailor a path which is
mm,
suitable for you and for some set of people on earth, due to which we connect on this level, on the same level. If people don't connect on the same level, they'll not feel like this path is suitable for them. So
right.
that's what the deities do. They tailor a
Mm,
path for a set of people, and those people use that path to transcend to the higher realms. And it might work for all and it might not work for all. It all depends on
mm.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
And it
Kali
also, I
Yamala
think.
Tantra. Kali Yamala Tantra, I guess it's already there. So I'll be copyrighted. uh, yeah, so I guess one we can before ending this session, no, we can
Mhm.
just meditate upon like for like 5 minutes on this Sri Yantra. Guys, if you
Yeah.
have a mobile, uh, you can search for Sri Yantra and keep this photo in front of you, and you can chant Om Krim Mahakalikaye Nama inside the mind for 5 minutes, and I will try to awaken everyone's Kundalini in this session. So let us go. Three, two, one, go. Yeah, now all can open their eyes. So that's what I'm suggesting everyone. Open Sri Yantra and keep it in front of you every day before meditating. Keep some jaggery, or because Lalita Tripura Sundari loves sugar cane, right? So if you keep some
Mhm.
jaggery, she will be more pleased, and she might come out of the yantra through your mobile. Then yeah, she'll be there with you always. She's like the kind form of Kali. Like Kali is like fierce form, right? She's like kind
Mhm.
form. So practice this daily, and yeah. Uh, so any end credits? How did you feel about this meditation, Jeevan?
Oh, it was great. Meditation is always great, and yeah, this one
Mm,
was great as well. It was very
mm,
nice. Thank you.
huh,
And overall, yeah,
mm,
enjoyed the discussion a lot today.
mm,
Yeah,
huh,
hope you continue doing this with everyone else, and we get a lot more exchange
yeah.
of information and knowledge. And yeah,
Mm. True. Okay then. So thanks, Jeevan, for joining this live session on this busy day, and yeah, thanks everyone for joining. So we will end this session, and we'll meet in tomorrow's session. Thanks for tuning in, and Jai Mahakal.
Jai Mahakal. Thank you for having me.
Mm.
Bye.
Huh. Yeah, sure.